portal's still here. I've tried everything, and the portal's still here.
Hey, just seeing if I could borrow some butter for some soul cookies. Oh, and some soul.
And somehow the demons coming out of the portal are simultaneously the best and worst neighbors I've ever had.
So, about that soul.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of That Cybert Channel. I'm Dan Cybert, and I'm at my wit's end here. The portal showed up in my Doom Eternal review, which you can watch by clicking right there. And since then, I cannot make it freaking go away. And yes, I did try closing the closet door and somehow opened up a door to a room full of imps. It was the worst. But since Doom continues to flood into my life, why not take this opportunity to talk about Doom mods? The Doom modding community is perhaps one of the longest running and most impressive communities out there. From simple things like weapon packs to full-blown reworks and packages called WADs. Even to this day, there are still mods being made for Doom. Heck, you can even start creating your own Doom mod right now. Or maybe you could learn something else. God knows we have the time. Now, Future Dan, segue to graphics.
Now, sure, it might be intimidating to think about even starting to learn a new skill. Like, where would you go to find someone willing to share that info? Today's sponsor, Skillshare. I assume you guys got that. Skillshare is offering Cybernauts 2 months of premium for free right now if you use my link below.
Now, before you skip this, hear me out. Skillshare is a brand I've been wanting to work with for a long time. Many of you might not know this, but I am a completely self-taught editor. I'm a huge supporter of education, and I wish I had something like Skillshare when I was learning.
They've got classes on everything from basic editing to animation to web design. It basically covers anything you need to know to make quality content here on the internet. Wait, why did they sponsor me then? I myself have been really diving in on Skillshare. Editing is my strongest skill. I mean, some idiot decided to give me a streamy for it, but my production skills leave a lot to be desired. That's why I'm watching Cinematography Basics by Zach Mulligan, because I should learn how to get an actual shot list to Alyssa. That would be more helpful than me just kind of going,
Put it there!
Okay.
I'm making movie magic. Look, we live in really strange times. There's a lot to get down about, but this could also be an opportunity. Take this chance to learn something new. The first 1,000 subscribers to click the link below will get 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free. That's 2 months to try it out, see if you like it, and learn something new. Help support the channel by also helping to support yourself. So I hope you've all clicked that link and signed up, because it's time to rip and tear through some Doom mods.
As always with these videos, I asked for suggestions in the community tab, and you guys suggested a lot. Thanks to everyone who's staying active in that community tab. It makes me really happy to see you guys there. Looking at the suggestions, seems like a lot of votes for something called HDoom. We'll definitely be getting to that. I'm really excited to see what you guys have in store for me on that game. The Doom modding community has a large variety of different adjustments to Doom, from new skins, guns, level packs, or even complete overhauls that basically make the game something completely different. Unfortunately, we won't be jumping into more official WADs such as Final Doom and Sigil, as those deserve their own videos later. Plus, I don't want to make this a 30-minute episode like last time. That was a mistake. As we did with Sonic fan games, links to all the mods are found down below, as well as links to GZDoom and ZDL, which I used to load all of these mods. With all of that out of the way, let's jump into a mod that is an absolute must considering the game shared a release date. Doom Eternal in Animal Crossing has some of the most wholesome memes I've ever seen. Fan art like this gives me life. Well, it wouldn't be long before the custom patterns and Doom mods would start rolling in. I had my eye on 2 mods celebrating the Slayer and Isabelle's beautiful friendship. One was a mod where you actually play as Isabelle, but I couldn't find a download of it, so we'll have to cover it another time. The other one, though, adds Isabelle into your game as a companion, and I never want to play Doom without her again. I mean, the rest of this video doesn't have her because it was the last mod I played, but not the point! Isabelle functions essentially like Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite, an invincible NPC providing you with ammo, armor, and health. but she does a little bit more. Along with getting all the gear you need, Isabelle also attacks with pots, a hammer, and the super shotgun. Wait, where did she get that, and how did she not fly across the room from recoil? Isabelle is swole. She stays pretty close to you wherever you go, and you can interact with her to have her stay in one place. Don't know why you'd ever do that though. Look at her! How dare you tell her to stay in one place? It's a fun mod to have on. It doesn't drastically change the difficulty or gameplay. Just a fun mod and gives Isabelle something more to do than just stare blankly at a wall. Alright, let's jump into a mod that overhauls a bit more of the game, Russian Overkill. A ton of you guys suggested this game, and I gotta say, it didn't disappoint. Russian Overkill is a mod with the pure intent of relieving any stress you may have by utterly destroying everything with insanely overpowered weapons. I think it's fair to say this mod doesn't set out to challenge the player, unless that challenge is deciding what destructive weapon you want to use. This game has tons of different weapons to use, all of them completely overpowered compared to any demon you come across. A personal favorite of mine is a chain gun that fires fighter jets out of it, but that is just one of my favorites. I found myself swapping between nearly every weapon with joyful glee of seeing everything melt in my path. But the mod isn't just destruction. I mean, it's a large part of it, but there are some other aspects involved. The mod includes 3 playable characters, each with a unique weapon and a set of melee combos exclusive to them. I, of course, picked the cyborg because let's face it, in 30 years I'll have to replace all my body parts with cybernetics after all the coffee I drink eats away my organs. This is a really fun mod. Health and armor are never an issue, and weapons are so unbelievably powerful. It's all about kicking down the door, pounding down some potato water, and taking down Hell's armies. If you ever need a break, nab the mod down below. Now, maybe you're that one that wants a challenge. Maybe you need the blood pumping from conquering the insane task of a hard battle. Well, here's Nuts.
I think they may have gone a little overboard here.
Nuts is Nuts. End of episode. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell so you know when I upload FNAF Fan Games 5. Nuts is what happens when a modder overuses Control-V over and over again. It's ultimately just 2 large rooms with all the demons. All the demons. Now, if you're looking at this going, there's no freaking way, you'd actually be wrong. I was able to beat it with the insane number of stuff it gives you in the beginning. It ultimately comes down to charging as fast as you can to the end and jumping on a lot of heads. It's a rather short mod if you know what you're doing. Just a quick massive battle and it's over.
Oh God, there's a second one.
There's follow-up, it's even more nuts. End of episode. This starts off insanely difficult with 3 buses, it doesn't matter, right in front of us. But behind us are 3 megaspheres we can use. Great, fine. Then we'll just take on the What is that by their feet? Are you freaking kidding me? Fine, let's grab the BFG and invulnerability and see if we can start.
I hate everything right now.
Nuts 2 is just a big fat troll level. However, just like Nuts 1, it is beatable, though you will be face palming most of the time. And at the end, the trolling does end with a haul of Doom guys as you run off to.
Why does this happen?
Yes, there is a third. It's a freaking trilogy, and the final one is insanely hard. It was so hard that I couldn't beat it without turning on cheats to get through it. Again, there are tons of demons, but this time around, you actually need to plan things out a bit. In order to beat this, you need to find your way up that big tower in front of you. To do that, you'll need to find various switches and teleporters to make your way up. And if you thought you were safe from the trolling, guess again. The BFG is something completely different that might be just as strong, but probably not. And there are far too many cyber demons. If you want to facepalm and rage at the same time, go play Nuts. It'll be nuts.
All right, what's next? Hopefully something not weird. I should stop expecting kindness from this video.
So this is a game called Revenant Bus. It's a game where you ride a bus. Cool. The first level of the game is you getting on the bus. Great. Level 2 is you on the bus and you literally just sit there and drive the bus. That's it. Oh, right, and the bus has a teleporter in the back that infinitely spawns revenants.
It's a bus full of me's!
Wait, I thought you left after the Doom Eternal review.
I wanted to check in on how my revenge is going and give you this.
What's this?
If you survive these mods, I officially give up. Get to the end of the mods and there you go.
Really? That's fantastic!
But you have to survive the bus full of me's.
This is the worst.
The whole purpose of this mod is to test your endurance. This game requires you to defend yourself from revenants with only your fists. Here's the thing, it gets worse. In order to beat this mod, you must survive for 24 hours. Yes, 24 real-life hours. Clearly, I did not beat this for the video, but if it ever comes down to doing a 24-hour live stream, I think this is what we'll be doing. Now, despite everything I've said, it's still worth checking out the mod. I mean, it's just a goofy mod and it's ridiculous. I love the concept, and if it wasn't 24 hours, I would have absolutely beat this, I think. I did die a lot.
When I decided to do this video, I knew I had to talk about Brutal Doom. That being said, I don't think I could show any of Brutal Doom without getting one of these. You haven't seen it, but this entire video it's been waving that yellow $sign at me. So unfortunately, I don't think I can talk about Brutal Doom. Unless, yes, this is perfect. You have no idea how long I've wanted to talk about this particular game. See, back in the day when my mom took away Doom, there was a giant FPS hole in my heart that needed to be filled. One day my mom came home with a box of Chex to make her highly addictive Chex Mix. Which I mean is just a recipe from the back of the box that anyone could learn, but my God, is it so delicious that it doesn't even, I'm getting off track. Well, it just so happens that that box had a CD inside of it. And that CD had 500 free minutes of AOL and Chex Quest.
If you were a kid in the 90s, chances are you got your hands on this beautiful masterpiece. Chex Quest is Doom, but with cereal. Created by the Waters Molitor promotion agency, the team actually licensed the Doom engine from id and created perhaps the best cereal box prize ever. Set on the
planet Berzoik,
clearly made with a sci-fi name generator, you play as the Chex Warrior as you fight against the Phlemoids. Get it? Because they're green and mucusy? Instead of guns, you have a variety of Zorchers, weapons designed to send the Phlemoids back home. And if you're wondering, yes, one of the weapons is a spork. This game is ridiculous, but at the time, it was a family-friendly version of Doom, and I ate that ish up, both in-game and out. And it is worth mentioning someone is making an HD version of the game. It looks just as cheesy and great as the original. Now, fortunately, there is a version of Brutal Doom that works with Chex Quest. So we get all the enjoyment of green brutalness without the yellow $sign of let's make this video basically invisible because we can't make a good way to get more mature videos out to people who want it. I'm not bitter. Brutal Doom is perhaps one of the most popular mods out there. It takes 16-bit violence and makes it 16 bits of excessive. Any enemy explodes into tons of gooey pixels, a la Doom Glory Kills. But to just say that's it would be a disservice to the mod. It also includes new difficulties, tons of options, and more importantly, a lot of changes to the weapons. Every weapon gets a makeover to look and sound more realistic, but more importantly, everything has been rebalanced. No longer is each new weapon you find more powerful than the last, but rather each weapon does solid damage in different ways. This lets the player pick the right gun for each fight. I think the description from moddb.com describes this in the best way. Everything sounds louder, looks bigger, moves faster, and hits harder. Trust me, you can feel that in every moment of this mod. I'm really only scratching the surface with the limited time I have here, but trust me when I say this is a must-have mod. It completely changes how the game plays and essentially remasters the entire game, and adds in a roundhouse kick. A complete balanced breakfast isn't the only franchise that has been crossed over with Doom. I don't know if you can call a complete balanced breakfast a franchise, but we're gonna go with it. The modding community has done the much needed work of painting Doom over with a nice coat of your favorite franchise. Golden Souls happens to be one of those exact games, taking the classic gameplay of Mario 64 and putting a Doom guy in it. Now, if you're expecting a full recreation of Mario 64 and Doom, you'll be disappointed for about 1 second. Because once you start playing, it'll feel like Doom if you were fighting your way through Princess Doomslayer's castle. The story begins with an adorable Super Mario World 2 style intro. Basically, the UAC finds a mansion full of paintings. Incredibly enraged they couldn't jump into those paintings, they use the golden souls to bring the paintings up to Mario 64 code. Then the demons attack, steal the souls, blah blah blah. It's literally just the plot of Doom and Mario mashed together with a hammer. Golden Souls works essentially just like Mario 64. You'll be exploring the mansion, collecting golden souls to unlock more and more of the mansion. Entering a level is as simple as using the use button on any painting to immediately jump into a level. You've also probably noticed, if you're actually watching this video, that these aren't the original weapons. Shout out to my viewers that are viewing my hard work, and a shout out to my listeners who just like the sound of my voice. What's wrong with you? Golden Souls also comes with a new weapon set, which unfortunately requires reloading. I miss you, giant unending clips. Most of the weapons are similar to their original counterparts, though they are adjusted to look and function a little differently. Beyond that though, we have some additions like the staple of any shooter, the AK-47. The gun that makes your enemies go ack. I will not apologize for that joke. Like Brutal Doom, the guns feel much more powerful this time around. But where this mod really shines is the Mario-styled levels. The level design is all built around feeling like you're playing in a 3D Mario level. While Doom doesn't have major platforming mechanics, the levels are built around those limitations, though you will need access to the jump button that you get from GZDoom. The levels never had a platforming challenge that I felt required advanced Doom maneuvers, which was nice. That being said, that doesn't mean it isn't without its faults. This engine wasn't really built with platforming in mind, and it shows. Jumping can be hard to judge, and your momentum can lead to you messing up some precise jumps. It doesn't happen often, but I do suggest for the sake of your own sanity to save a lot before challenges. Otherwise, you'll be spending a lot of your time getting back to where you were. Overall though, I love this mod. Sure, platforming can sometimes be tricky, but it's a lot of fun. Plus, it still maintains the combat feel from Doom, so it doesn't lose what's great about the original game. Though, don't be an idiot like me and make sure you load this into Doom 2. I used the wrong Doom. Now let's talk about what I think is my absolute favorite mod of the entire batch, Castlevania Simon's Destiny, a full Doom remake of the original Castlevania from the NES. Like I said, this was an absolute favorite of mine, probably because I've been rewatching Castlevania on Netflix. It's just so good. And now with this mod, I'm convinced it's the only gaming franchise that can transcend its own genre. But then I remember there's a pachinko machine. Simon's Destiny is just really well made from top to bottom. All the levels in Castlevania transfer incredibly well into the Doom engine. Sure, there are some significant changes since Castlevania is 2D and Doom is 3D.
Well, actually...
Yes, we know it's not actually 3D. Get out of here, Wallace.
Well, actually, I can't leave because I'm just a PNG.
Oh, right.
Well, actually, I still exist on your hard drive.
There, gone. Now, if only it was actually that easy in life. The game gets the full overhaul with new enemies you have to deal with, I hate you bones, as well as the classic Castlevania weapon set. Just as the original Castlevania, your whip will be your main weapon that can be upgraded to deal more damage at a longer distance, just like the original. However, the disadvantage here is that the animation doesn't really help you see where the hitbox is. Instead of extending to give you an idea of how far your whip flies out, it instead just swings across the screen. Sure, it looks nice and maybe it's more accurate to how you would actually attack with a whip, but it's really hard to tell if I'm aiming correctly. Most of the time, enemies are just slightly out of my reach. That is where special items come in. Just like the original game, breaking candles and torches will net you hearts and secondary weapons. Why the Belmonts hate lighting fixtures? We'll never know. These secondary weapons are key to getting through this game. You will need to make sure you have a good long-distance weapon. Either the knives, axe, or cross are must-haves if you want to get through the game. Sure, maybe I could have charged my way through, but more often than not, these bone bastards would end up knocking me out. Each stage ends with a boss fight similar to the NES games. While the later bosses I didn't have too much trouble with, the bat, the freaking first boss bat ended up being the biggest challenge for me. He's very agile and he dodges a lot of your attacks. You, sir, suck. This game is wonderful and really helped me get through the wait for Doom Eternal. I cannot recommend this mod enough. Check it out whether you're a fan of Doom, Castlevania, or just life.
All right, let's see what's next on the oh my god, yes.
It just wouldn't be a Doom mod video if we didn't talk about Doot. It's the most beautiful meme I've ever seen. Mostly because it forces a stupid skull to play the trumpet instead of rocket launchers. Doot changes the character to a trumpet-wielding Revenant as you charge through in Doom Guy's place to take down hell.
I forgot to grab my hell keys. What is this?
Oh, it's Doot, where I force you to doot all your friends.
It was just a phase, I swear.
Excuse me?
Okay, fine. So, in high school, I went through a rebellious phase where I tried to stop hell. But just one time, I swear.
Well then, here's an alternate reality where you doot all your friends to death.
Oh, they're never gonna let me back into hell after this.
Doot is similar to Russian Overkill, that it's a great time and stress reliever. Why? Because the trumpet is a high damage, wide-reaching death machine. One Doot hits all the enemies near you and deals as much damage as a shotgun hit for every Doot. And with 10 Doots a second,
Now that's a lot of damage!
the best part about Doot is that it basically works in everything. Doom? Check. Doom 2? Check. Chex Quest? Chex check. Castlevania? Simon Doots. Revenant Bus? Lay on the Doot, my friend. Golden Souls? Let's a Doot! Doot is such a great time, and if you haven't had a chance to doot yourself a Doot, and Doot, you Doot. I love this mod.
All right, there's only one more mod to go, and then Rev will leave me alone for the rest of my life. It's so beautiful. So, what is the big finale? Oh, it's HDoom, that mod you guys all highly suggested. Well, I can't wait to see what it has in store for... Oh, no, cannot show that. But those are monsters right there.
All right, well, loading into HDoom, everything looks like Doom 2, so let's just go grab the chains.
Yeah, okay, nope, can't show that either. Okay, well, let's see what happens when we kill an enemy. Yeah, okay, all right. I think we're all done with that one. Definitely checked off the list, and it's clearly about. But we cannot cover that in full. Okay. Wait, that was it. It's over. It's finally over. Oh my God. Rev did it. You finally got me.
Hey, you ringing that bell? Because you should. And thank you all for watching. A special thanks to Alyssa Be Crazy, MDB, Mark from Nerd Fiction, It's Mr. Wex, and Elizabeth Mello and all my Patreon patrons. A special thanks to Skillshare, and make sure you check out the link below to be one of the 1,000 viewers to get 2 months of premium free. And until FNAF Fan Games 5, Cybert out.